It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me, when will this fighting end? Pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Will you wrong? Or will you just leave and hide? You always said that I've let you down so many times, but now you see that all I ever did was try to get your attention for just one little loving word. But now I'm gone, and our bridge is about to burn. Well, I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking. Just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me, when will this fighting end? Pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Will you run? Or will you just leave it?
Welcome. You thought you got me, right?
So much for stress less.
to the Brooklyn Cafe Midday Show. You got a lot of new faces.
It's kind of nice.
I like when there's a lot of new faces.
I gotta tell you, it's nice to see you happy. It must be because Katie's back.
Who's Katie?
Texas, I think he missed you more than he'll say.
Nah, that ain't the reason, but that's one of the reasons. Not the reason, but one of the reasons.
She's on sound. Oh,
Can you hear
she
me?
says.
Can you hear the pitter-patter of my heartbeat?
You might have some competition over in the other room, so that's all I can tell you.
First of all, you know, we have a new producer in the house who sings, right? So
Do
we're going to
you?
put her on karaoke sometime today to sing. Can you sing a little karaoke? You know what I like about this kid?
What?
She never says no.
Kaylee?
Yep. I said, will you want to be an editor to the magazine? Yes. I said, will you do a show? Yes.
It
You
sounds
want-
perfect.
Yes. And she has no fear.
That's kind of what you need to be in here is fearless.
Yeah, that and a couple of pills because this place is nuts, I got to tell you.
I got to tell you, though, I went in this morning after the morning show, and I said, all right, I felt like a teacher. Who will take this commercial? Silence.
No raising of the hands?
None.
Not even secret ops?
None. But I gave it to Secret Ops. Mayor's doing voiceover as long as helping Secret Ops put the pieces together, and as a team, they're putting it all together.
I gotta
which
tell
is
you, Mayor,
amazing. So
you-
that is the best way to do it.
His voice is tremendous.
But it's a women's piece, of course. Everything we do in here
So
is kind of a
her
women's
voice,
piece.
we gotta
So
try
she's
her
going to be
voice.
doing it.
Yeah.
So I love the fact, though, that they're all coming together to get this piece done quickly, which is amazing.
It's very nice.
I'm
Now,
really grateful
do you
about
know
that.
that the two of them know each other from school?
Do you? Oh, very cool.
The same class or something?
Nice.
Did you guys ever talk to each other in the school or no? Or it's
No,
the
peop-
only one class?
The
Okay.
people don't talk in school. They wait till they're here and talk. Just like Sabrina and Josh, right?
That's
No one talks
why
here.
in school I didn't learn much because I was talking too much.
You probably so.
Yep. I used to say, excuse me, can I have your notes?
But school is back in session. I think we're going to be going over to the FAU Career Fair in a couple weeks. That's kind of cool.
Are we doing that or are we sending some reps?
We got to talk about it.
All right.
I have to check the day of the week it is, and it's a couple hours, and see who we can send over. See who's on shift that week, that day, and we'll see what we got.
Is that a Thursday or something?
I don't remember if it's a Wednesday. It might be a Thursday. Anyway, weekend's over. Monday is back in full swing, and our crew is on point. Katie's back. Josh. We got Kaylee, and we got the sisters in the house. We got Afua and Ya joining us, some new friends that we met on the Kenny Love Show on Friday.
On Friday, yes, and they're back for round 2.
Apparently, he painted over the weekend. He spray painted, so his arm is a little sore. Oh. So sorry.
I did it for an hour.
It's not like
you did?
"Shroom," it's not like you're on the scaffold. It's your finger hurt.
Hey, it all starts with you.
Okay.
It hurts, all right? I
It's
can't hold
funny,
my
I'm
cup of
just-
coffee.
I'm just
It
messing
keeps slipping
with
out
you.
of my hand. I look like there's something wrong with me, but it's because of the pain. You know, you're not being very nice.
You know, but this morning, we didn't get to do this on our morning show, but you know how the crew gave us all these Briggs-Myers assessment tests? Have you ladies ever heard of the Briggs-Myers personality test?
Yes.
I have heard of it, yeah.
So Alana and Josh, I think, I don't know, they all had us doing all these assessments. So they have all of our personalities down on a board in there. And then I found the best budgeting strategy for your Myers-Briggs
But
personality
what does that
type.
have to do with the Briggs personality budget?
Based on your personalities, how you should budget.
Meaning what? You're either cheap or you're not, no?
No, like different thing. What drives your money habits? So, like for the analyst,
Having it, number 1. Not having it, number 2.
well,
That's really
Here
it.
they say for
Amen.
personalities who fall in the analyst category, they're generally innovators. They like intellectual challenges and coming up with creative solutions. While analysts are typically careful planners, their ideal budgeting strategy should also take into account their big dreams and desire to level up, like a dream home. Like I could see you as an analyst. You dream big.
First of all, the reason that this is even occurring is because Dawn decided to go to the dollar store, which is now the $1.25 store.
Oh my God.
So anywhere Dawn goes that she doesn't frequently visit, she makes it a career.
I want you to know I actually got a cart. I
And
started without a cart.
She always carries things. She never uses a cart.
I started that way, and by the
And
time
she
I got
kicks
through the
things
second,
down the aisle.
by the time I got to the second aisle, I had to go get a cart. And the woman there was like, "Lovely, this
You
is
see,
so
but nobody
lovely."
understands where all this is coming from. So she's had this vision, epitome that says, why do I do it? And nobody else is like her to do it. She loves to go. We took her to Costco. We had hot dogs in Costco with the kids. and we're sitting there, and she's talking to everybody that walks by. What are you going to do with all that detergent?
What are you going to do with that whole box? Is
What are
what
you
I
going to
said
do with
to
this?
someone.
And she's talking to people. One lady only had boxes. They were all empty. No, I'm moving.
I
need
said,
the
you're
box."
going to eat all those pot stickers? How long is it going to take you? She says, what pot stickers? I said, your box. She says, oh, it's empty. I mean, the amount of time it would take you to eat an entire box. Anyway, I think this is interesting.
No, it's not interesting.
The only thing is, none of our personalities fall into the realm
Correct.
of any
So
of these.
86 that. I don't want the people to listen. I got money, I spend it. I don't got any money, I don't spend it.
See, but that's not budgeting. That's just spending.
What's budgeting?
Exactly.
I mean, who has money to budget?
Exactly. It's just less money to spend, which is why you and I are always where we always are in business.
Unbelievable. So
I
we'll
know.
get back to that.
So it was funny because we met these lovely ladies on Friday. I'm going to get their names right, Afua Danes and Ya McFarlane, sisters on the Kenny
correct.
Love Show. And when we forgot to get any of your contact information on Friday when you left, so I quickly found you all on Facebook. And then I was already friends with Ya on Facebook, and I thought, that's unbelievable because I don't remember ever meeting you, but I guess we must have at some point. You think it like Conscious Co-op.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe you guys were there and I would go to the different booths. Perhaps I picked up a card. Perhaps I talked to you.
Were you
Probably.
at the hotel where they did it on the 5th floor, or did you go to an event?
No, at the Wyndham.
At the
Yeah, but
the
We
I.
used to cover the streaming, yeah.
Oh, you did? Yes. I've been to a few last year. The Christmas one, I think, as well. So, yeah. But I definitely remember a couple where you guys
Yeah,
were
says
there.
yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't covered that in how many years? 3
In-
years?
Oh, right.
We were at the inception. She did all of that.
Oh,
with
at the
us, and She was
beginning?
at the
Must be
radio.
Barry calling me from
Oh,
Wales,
okay,
United Kingdom,
okay.
or it's the Prince. Hello.
Yeah.
The Prince of Wales is calling right now. Thank you very much.
And we used to set up a booth on the side. So if I
Oh,
had met you
right.
ladies, I would have said, "Come here," and I
Right.
give you a
Oh.
microphone,
Oh, is that right?
and you go and you interview people in the deal. We did this with Jordana Foster.
Oh, fun.
4 years later,
That's
right?
4
Like a
years
road
later.
show?
She has her own show. 4 years
Exactly.
later, she's still on the air.
No way.
Really?
So that's what that whole thing was about, was to find people that could do this.
Yeah.
And tonight, the two of you are going to be on your own journey. You're going to be doing your own thing tonight at 6 o'clock,
Yes.
right here.
That's
and
right.
on CMGV Oldies, yes. You're going to be on Oldies Live. It's funny you say that.
But I want to talk to Ya about being a holistic health coach.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
This is where they're going to be.
Oh, I see.
That's the radio station you're going to be on tonight.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I have this.
I didn't even know that.
You got it.
know
That's
what
not even the
station?
correct stations. That's the Palm Beaches one. You got that from when you went to the 4th of July event.
Oh, I guess I should let her know that.
They're going to be on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. That's
yeah,
the
but
Palm Beaches.
nobody can read the numbers because, look, it's moving.
Well, I'm grateful that Mayor fixed our
Camera?
light on here, which is really great.
I know, I'm not dark anymore. All right, so you want to talk about what?
I want to talk about what they do because we didn't get really a chance. So, Ya, you're a holistic health coach.
Yes, that's right. I've been.
It's a long journey, isn't it?
It is a long journey, yeah.
Well, where are you both from originally?
England.
England. Born
What
in
part-
London.
What part of England?
Kent. Maidstone. I'm supposed to be looking at
South. We were born in London, but
Yeah.
we grew up in Kent.
Yeah.
Kent is considered the Garden of Eden, the Garden of England, rather. But it's just very green and very nice.
How long
and-
have you been here?
Oh my goodness, a long time, 20-something years now.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, yeah,
19 for me.
about 23 years. Yeah.
So when you came here 20 some odd years ago, was because
I actually got married in the US. So,
Same here.
Yeah.
so you got married to come over?
No, I was here. I always visited my sister, and then I got married. I
Yeah.
met my husband's uncle in England, and then he invited me over. It's a great story if you have the time.
It's a great story.
When you might not have the time, but I could say it really quickly. Would
We
you
have
like me
the
to
time,
do
so
that?
share.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So I met my husband's uncle in London. I worked with him. We went around Europe, and then one Christmas he invited me over for, well, not for Christmas, for New Year's Eve. And then I ended up staying for a little while, working for the family the Danes family. And then I went back to England, and they invited me to come and work with them. And so my husband came and picked me up. It wasn't love at first sight, but, you know, anyways, big story. But that's how I came to be in Utah.
And I was going to say, how do you end up in Utah of all places?
Of all places, that's right. Yes, of
From
all
England, yes.
places from England. Because of that. So I worked there for 8 months, and then he proposed to me actually after 8 months, and I said, I don't think so. Went back to England, did my thing there, and then I returned, and I thought, well, this could work. And by then I was about 30 something. So then I thought, well, I better settle down. It's that quick.
It was that biological clock.
Yeah, that's right.
8 months is
Or
really...
seeing both your sisters.
Yeah, both my
get married.
sisters, everyone was married.
Yeah.
I thought, well.
We were pressurizing her.
And they'd been telling me I was an old maid, and I thought, that's not
So
nice.
your sister was already married?
Yes,
was
and my
already
younger
married.
sister was already married.
Yeah.
Oh, so you held out the longest.
I did, because I really, yeah,
still
I was
wanted
having fun.
to. She was
yeah,
having
I was
fun.
having fun. I
Oh
was having
my
a
goodness.
blast.
Yeah.
You gotta have some fun. We
You
talked
do.
about that this morning. I realized I was never single.
Right.
I'm not even going to...
It's true, so you got to enjoy it.
You do.
But to end up from England now, when you were on Kenny's show, he said you guys were from Ghana.
So
Yes.
our parents are from Ghana.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay.
we lived there a little bit when we were young, very small,
Yeah.
but we were born in England. Yes.
So I was like 4 when I returned back to England.
Back to England.
I was 4 when we went to Ghana, sorry, and then returned
Yeah.
back when I was 8.
So you went to Utah and you ended up in Florida. How?
Because I wanted it, and my sister's here, and we just
Yeah.
love each other, don't we?
So
we
you
are a
told.
powerhouse.
So hold on. You told your husband we're going to Florida.
Yes, I did. I said, you can stay. I did give him the option. You can stay and then come. But because I am just so amazing, he couldn't leave
This
me.
is over a number of years.
Number
though.
of
So let me
years
get
to
this right. You
brainwash.
got married and told him he can stay.
No, we've
This
been
is-
married.
yeah.
We've been married 19 years.
Yeah.
And
okay.
we've lived in Utah for a very long time. We went to Kentucky because then I couldn't stand it.
Of course you did.
Came back, and then
It's been about the past 5
past
years
5
that
years,
you've been
I've
saying.
been brainwashing the family that I am going to end up in Florida.
that
So how
we're
long have
all
you been
going.
here in Florida?
A week.
What? You're
Yes.
full of beans.
She's
Really?
not full of beans.
A week.
A week, and all my dreams are coming true. Can you believe
Yes,
this?
yeah.
Oh my
I kept telling her,
gosh.
you just need to be here in South
And
Florida.
it'll all happen.
And it'll all happen.
That's right.
So I heard a story that you told that you wanted to be on radio.
That's right, too. Yes. I mean, seriously. Okay, I got this house. It's a fixer-upper, and if you've watched The Money Pit, it's
That's your house?
not that bad as Money Pit, but it is funny. It's,
Well,
you gotta watch
Freddie's
that.
good at spray painting. He can.
Oh, there you go.
He strengthened his hands, so
First
he can
of all,
spray paint for
I
you.
need a
you
bit
have
more
a-
than that.
You have a padded room in your house.
I have a
Excuse
what?
me?
A padded room that you do podcasting or
I
something?
did, yes, in
You
my old
did.
house.
Oh, your old
in
house.
my old
Oh, okay.
house, yeah.
But her husband,
my
your
stuff.
husband
I
can build a
watch
new
and
one.
listen. Well, I gotta.
Oh,
And your
he's
kids were outside making
Searching
noise.
us out.
Well, I got
Stop on
tape.
Facebook.
So the new house doesn't have any of that.
No, not yet. No.
No.
We're cleaning it up.
Yeah.
But it's got a good room for parties.
Yeah. And your husband can build you another
Yeah.
padded room
We've
or
got lots of
studio.
closets.
Your
Padded
husband is
room.
He's
a
a fixer-upper.
a fixer-upper.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Well, he
and
fixes up.
He does.
He's not a
fix
fixer
up.
upper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Can you tell his sisters?
Oh my gosh.
So let me get this right. So I heard that you wanted to do your own radio show.
Yes, my own radio show.
So tonight you're gonna have the chance to
to do that.
enter that journey.
Yes.
And what do you want to talk about?
We're going to talk about success, wealth, and wellness.
Yes.
How to make
Health,
wealth,
wealth, and
and
happiness.
happiness. Yeah.
Yes.
Now your
How to
sister,
make lots of money.
how to make
really?
money? I'm all in on that.
Yeah.
Now your sister
Yes.
she's the health guru.
She's the health guru. Yes.
Don't know about
She heals
guru,
people
but-
back to health. Did you know this?
She
Well,
does.
we were starting to talk about that. What type of health coach are you?
Well, a little bit, not a little bit different. I did go through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, so I do like to know that everyone has their bio-individuality and not to necessarily put a definite, lifestyle or nutrition or diet. But at the same time, I'm also biased to know that we are also humans. We are, you know, we're one species, and yes, people are all over the world from different countries, but there are also laws of nature. So our bodies will work in a certain way. We do have a certain DNA. We do have certain guts. So there's certain foods and substances that will affect us, whether it's you were born in Africa or born in England. And so I just, I work with people to help them get to, you know, as much optimum, vibrant health as possible. But also working with their background and getting to know everything about, you know, their situation, their body, and things like that. I'm also a detoxification specialist, so that also works with how can we help to remove those things from your system that may be causing you harm.
Like constipation, you know.
That's a huge one.
I was watching a video this weekend by Dr. Gundry, and you never know what's real and what's not real. And I love tomatoes, like the little cherry tomatoes.
Yes.
And he talked this whole thing about how the seeds of the cherry tomatoes are huge in causing inflammation. So I've got tons of inflammation in my body, and I know I do. And I thought maybe I'm going to stop eating, as much as I love them, these cherry tomatoes. Is that true? Something with the lectin, he said.
I have, you know, listened to his some of his YouTubes and, you know, read his book. There definitely are certain things with different foods that may cause a lot of gut disruption. The thing is, most, if not all, disease, I mean, it comes from the gut. We've got about 80% of our immune system starts from the gut. And now we've got our gut speaking with our brain to the gut, and we've got all of this going on. We've got children with all different things going on, and a lot of it does come from the gut. So I think, honestly, a lot of healing comes by how we're going to get the whole body actually in the correct environment. So I think when it comes to nature, we've got chemistry going on. My major is in chemistry. And there's a whole alkaline and acid thing going on with our systems, the pH of our body. And so I'm not fixated on one thing like lectins. I want to know the environment of the entire being of all the body. I want to know what's going on with our thoughts, with our sleep, with what we're taking in, with our relationships, with, you know, how do we feel from day to day, how much water are we consuming. So there's several pillars of health, and so I want to look at all of those different pillars of health to see what might be contributing or to our health or taking away from our health, if that makes sense.
You know, it's interesting because I saw a study that says the skin of the tomato can be detrimental to the colon. And I didn't have time to listen to the whole thing. I
You
also
like tomatoes?
I love tomatoes, but there's just so many different things that are coming out right now.
There is
this, to continue what she's talking about, there is a study being done that when you consume water during a certain period of the day, like if you're stressed, you should consume water. Then there are other periods when you should not consume water. I mean, it's turned into such a science that I like what she's saying because everybody's body is different. And the stress levels are different.
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
needs of these stress levels change the chemistry of the body.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're living in a toxic environment, if you are highly stressed, your body's going to be going through all these different chemical concoctions all over the body just from the stress. And so your body can be very acidic just from living with a very stressful person. If you're always arguing, if you're depressed, all of these different things can also lead to the detriment of your health. So we've got to look at a variety of things. Food is a huge part of it, but if you're only averaging 2 or 3 hours of sleep each night, that's also going to affect your health hugely.
Yeah.
And so looking at all these different things, I mean, I look at children and, we've both taught in private schools and things like that. I have children that are averaging, 4 hours a night of sleep, 5 hours of sleep. That's going to affect how they act in the day, and it's going to affect their health as well as what they're eating and drinking from day to day. So I really look at the whole for a person rather than concentrating on one or two different foods. But of course, food is a huge part of it as well. If we're looking at somebody that much of their food is processed foods, we're going to know that's going to affect their health immediately. So we've got to look at the food, but we've also got to look at the other factors as well.
It's funny. There's a study that's being done at Harvard University about married couples, and they're doing it based on the number of years. The more you're together, the pluses and the minus of this thing. And then when COVID came along, the reason the divorce rate went through the roof.
Yes.
And now they have a new study that they're doing. So they put this one that they've been doing for 10 years on hold because everything that they discovered on the first 10 years is wrong.
Or it just changed.
Wrong.
Wow. Right.
Because what's happening is when you are living with somebody, and I'm not putting marriage down, don't get me wrong. But when you're living
Yeah,
with
yes,
somebody, I'm not. I'm not. But when you live with somebody, somebody has to be the yin and somebody has to be the yang.
Yeah,
You cannot have two people pulling on the same rope. You just can't. I know that it sounds romantic and all that. It ain't true.
So you know how I spent the weekend? Watching Sex in the City movies, and I have to tell
I
you,
saw that yesterday.
they were so good. They were so good. They're like eye-opening, and the one scene where Big and Carrie decided they're going to take 2 days off a week
I saw that.
and have their own space.
Or that she wanted a baby and he doesn't. Yeah, I saw that. But that's just make believe,
I don't know if it is.
It is, but the problem is that you brainwash yourself when you're watching this thing.
I don't know. I'm
You
thinking,
do. You binge watched it? They gave it yesterday.
it was on all weekend.
I know.
Oh, weekend. That's enough.
It was on. They kept switching off at that one, and then the Johnny Cash movie. And on Sunday, they just mixed them up and played them again.
Lauren, are you into that
Sex in the
stuff?
City?
Sex in the City? No, I wouldn't. I watched it. I felt like so depressed.
What is your niche client, yeah?
Honestly, I do get any and everyone who's having any health issues, whether it's it could be high blood pressure, it could be high cholesterol, it could be whatever's going on with the body. But I'm also drawn to those that it could be just serious, where they've gone to doctors, they're on medication, the medication may not be working, they're feeling worse and worse. It could be pre-cancer, it could be cancer. So I'm looking at if you have any dis-ease, the body is a natural, it will naturally heal when given the right environment. And so it all starts with the inside out. And then another huge proponent of that is the mind, right? So you can eat broccoli all day, but if your mind set is that I'm sick and I'm not going to heal, I'm sick all the time, So a part of healing is that I will assist somebody with, affirmations and meditation and what can we do with our mind, because our minds, as we all know, right, is massive. Our subconscious mind will put us in a mind pattern where the body's not able to heal at the rate that it could because of belief. So once we've worked with that, plus we're working with, food, plus we're working with sleep, plus we're working with, hydration, then we can start seeing results almost immediately. So I'm looking to assist someone as much as possible to reverse the dis-ease that's in their body.
And once you have one dis-ease, you got a lot.
Well, we talked about this. You go see the doctor, he says, you have a problem.
Right.
And all of a sudden you go, what's wrong? Well, you're very sick, you're going to die. Oh, we're all going to die. No, but you're going to die soon. And you leave the hospital and you're depressed. All this stuff starts to come out. You get a cough.
Yeah.
Not the world is gray, is no longer green. Then he comes back, sees you the next day. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, we had the wrong chart. And all of a sudden, you made yourself sick on news. You made yourself sick by what you see on TV. You made yourself sick by being in things that are toxic. You can be in a toxic relationship
Yeah.
and not realize it. You may love the person to death, but it just doesn't, it's toxic.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you, I was told you want to keep the body at an alkaline level because cancer and diseases do not live in alkaline environments. Is that true?
I believe that to be true. I think it's part of the law of nature. When we talk about, the pH of the body's going to do everything it can to protect itself. I mean, if you're going to drink, say you decide to drink, 10 cans of Coca-Cola in one day, you're not going to die. No, your body's going to start being overcome with so much sugar, 54 grams per can or 40 grams of sugar per can. But your body's going to do everything it can. It will pull from everything to try and neutralize the acidity that's building up in your body, but you're not going to keel over and die. But it'll do everything it can. However, your body you're going to start getting inflamed immediately, the levels of sugar in your blood. So we do want to move more towards an alkaline way of life.
Not everyone knows what that means.
That is true. So if
I know
you...
you guys do.
Right. If we're so it's said that the body is around 7.365 alkalinity. It is that delicate balance in the body that assists to keep our systems going. And we all kind of did a little bit of chemistry at school, but what we've come to see is that the most alkaline foods on earth are basically what we've been told as children: eat your fruits and vegetables, those are the most alkaline things. And a lot of the foods that are highly, highly processed, sugary drinks, all of that, are very acidic foods. And we're in a very fast food nation. We are. It's easier to just get the convenience foods and all of these foods. But unfortunately, it's really damaging our health. It's damaging the nation and damaging our children as well.
So for those of you that eat McDonald's every day, Burger King every day, you're going to have a problem. And remember, when you're in your 20s, you're indestructible, because we all were there. Yeah, I was there at one time. And I said to my dad, I'm indestructible. I can eat McDonald's 30 days.
Yeah.
And when you get to 30, it cuts down. And then when you get to 40, you're like, what in the world am I doing? By the time you hit your 50s, you realize all the damage you did when you were 20. So stay smart in the game. Don't buy into that nonsense. And these challenges they do where they're swallowing pods.
That's
and
stupid.
They're holding themselves upside down, drinking beer. I got to tell you, the damage that you create to your inwards,
absolutely.
sometimes they heal, most of the time they don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that, ask every medical doctor that's out there, because this whole change is going on with our new kids right now. It's unbelievable. They've created stupid to a new level.
We got to take a commercial break.
We're going to do that in a minute. We're talking stupid here. We got to stop the stupid drive.
It's a whole change in process and culture and
It is.
education. So when we come back,
I read. Go on.
when we come back, let's talk about the education
Can
side
I say that
with
on the air?
Afua.
The stupid drive?
You already did.
I'm not gonna say that.
Only if Katie has the buzzer.
Katie has the buzzer.
All right, stay tuned. A quick commercial break. More with Afua, more with Ya, and we've got Sally Bernard and a friend in studio. And Margaret. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing, Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Hi, I'm Dawn Clifford, owner and founder of Clifford Insurance Advisors. Established in November of 1999, we focus on mainly health, life, disability, Medicare, and long-term care insurance. Specifically for people aging into Medicare or the self-employed or even employee benefits for small business owners. We can be reached by phone number at 561-880-0391 or by email info@cliffordinsuranceadvisors.com. Visit our website at www.cliffordinsuranceadvisors.com and even visit Facebook, Clifford Insurance Advisors.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Welcome to Movies of Del Rey, a family-run movie theater that has been serving the Del Rey and Boca community for over 30 years. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Movies of Del Rey offers great admission prices, low concession prices, and quality customer service. Movies of Del Rey provides the quality of the big box theaters without the price tag. Movies of Del Rey provides new Hollywood content as well as new indie and independent movies. It truly is a hidden gem. Whether you're hosting a private event, party, or fundraiser, or are looking for your next date night activity, Movies of Del Rey is the perfect choice. Come on down to Movies of Del Rey, located at 7421 West Atlantic Ave in Del Rey Beach, or visit us online at moviesofdelrey.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Into music. They did a nice job with that clock.
Welcome. Yes, he did. They hear the horns.
I still think you're going like to a bullfight with that.
No, that is the music to the greatest relief pitcher in the game right now.
How
in
was
my
the game?
opinion. They lost yesterday, 1-0. What a game that we pitched. Unbelievable.
It was good?
Yes, our teams did very well, even though one of my teams lost. Not like the Eagles.
Don't rub it in. Poor
the-
Josh.
That the Dolphins destroyed them.
That's Freddie's negativity buzzer. Every time he says something not nice today, they're going to buzz
They
him.
buzz me. They buzz me. But anyway,
All right, so let's talk to the other sister. Let's talk to Afua. She's an educator. What type of educator are you?
So I'm a curriculum instructional designer, actually, a curriculum designer, you might say. So I create training modules for schools and companies, and I love. I'm in the middle of doing my doctorate in instructional design, so I've delved into the life of what education really is, what it looks like, because I have two that I'm homeschooling. I've homeschooled, I've private schooled. We did public school for 3 days.
3 days.
And yeah,
long time.
I know. Seriously, it changed anyway, my kids have done homeschool private, then they did a little bit of public school, didn't like it, and so we returned back to private school. So
You write curriculum
I write curriculum, yes.
for all ages?
For all ages,
For
K through
homeschooling?
12. No. For companies and training modules as well. So, yeah, that's what I do.
So let me get this right.
Yes,
So if you have a student taking school classes
yes,
and they tell you when they grow up they want to be X, Y, and Z,
yeah.
do you help them establish a curriculum to get there?
If they want that, usually it's it's the school that I'm part of the school administrators that are creating the curriculum for the school, not for the individual.
Gotcha. So
That
you have
could do
a
that.
school that you work for
That
you
I
do this?
work for, yeah. Right now I'm actually teaching, and so I do that on the side, but I'm actually teaching English for 3 to 5th grade.
Where?
But-
Online?
No, at a private school, local private school, WCA.
So how'd you get out from doing it today?
We just did because we're fabulous and we got a sub.
Did you know
They
she was
don't
a
know.
teacher?
I had no idea.
Yes.
It's like every other page turns.
Oh, yeah.
I know she goes under the educator umbrella of what do you educate? A lot of things it seems to be.
Right, absolutely. What's it? Jack of all trade, master of many.
Oh, I like that. Master of many.
You also write poetry, I heard.
I don't write poetry. No, I
Do you-
read it. I do read it.
Did you write a book? There's something with the written word that
Me?
you've done.
No.
Never?
Maybe my other life. I haven't written the book. It's not complete, but I would love to.
Did you start writing a book?
I did start writing, but it's not completed.
And
No.
what was the book about?
Who, me? About me? About me. About me. There's so many facets about me that, yeah. So, I can't tell
She
you.
definitely has a lot of color. She has a lot of stuff going
life
on.
Well,
would
every
be a
time I tell
story.
people about my life and how I met my husband, they're like, "Oh, that's a story," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it is." So we've kind of started, and we started a radio show together. So my email is afua@onefrom2.com. It was like one person, and then we joined together, and that's how we got afua@onefrom2.com. I shouldn't be broadcasting my email, but all right.
Okay, so tell me about the radio station. What are you doing?
So the radio station that I was on, or
The one that you said you were doing.
yes. So just online, just me rambling on about love, about any subject that comes to my head. And I've done it a couple of times with my husband. We're very different personalities, and he has a dry sense of humor that makes me laugh, and so we've done that. But yes, I do have them.
Is he British also?
No, he's American, from Idaho, actually.
Idaho.
And he
Yeah.
proposed to you in Utah, who went to Kentucky and ended
So-
up in.
She's from England.
I'm
then
from
they moved
England.
to Ghana. She lives in Utah. Her husband's from Idaho.
And then they went to Kentucky, and then they came to Florida.
Who's from Wisconsin?
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, like, would you ever think?
There's your book.
There you see, that's That's true.
How I
Yeah.
cover the stage.
I've always said I could write a book about her life.
That's
and,
right, yeah.
I
The craziness of it all.
make
but-
millions on it.
So is the radio show online still going on? So it's a podcast. Is it
It's a
still going on?
podcast. So my goal was to make a whole series, then dump it online. So I haven't released it, I haven't published it yet, but it's just waiting. So every now, because my husband created the room for me, I would do them, but then I didn't tell him that I wasn't publishing them.
That's the book. That's the room that I saw you.
That's the room that you saw me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would create them, and sometimes I'd throw it on Facebook or but
And then you
The
did the
actual-
show as well. You did the
Studio
show
Chatter.
in Utah.
yeah.
Yes, she did a
So
show in Utah.
yeah, there's Spanish Folk Community Network. I helped produce Studio Chatter. If you go
Studio
on there,
Chatter, yeah.
and I was part of that. That was a TV show that we did. But
It's
it
a
was,
Latin show,
huh?
a Latino show.
No. Spanish Folk is in Utah.
Is a place.
Is a place,
Oh.
and they had their own TV network, and we produced.
What you
their
do
show.
there?
So it was like the Red Table. Have you watched that with?
A little bit like The
Jada
View,
Pinkett
maybe.
Like The View.
A little bit like The View.
But they're just three of us.
Red
three of you.
table meets the white table.
Something like that, yeah. And so we would meet once a week, and it was fun. It was good.
Who was on that show with you?
Natasha, two other girls, two other ladies, and then we had the producer, and then we'd invite local people. So we'd have pageant queens, people who made cookies. There was a lot, just the locals.
Just
the
local.
locals.
Yeah.
And so
And this was taped as well.
this was taped. I shouldn't have told you that, but yes, it was taped. I
We
am
had to
out
get
there.
Well, you know, the difference here is that I believe you should be doing things live because I think
Yes.
live is a better element for you than taped.
Yes.
Well, we're about to find that out tonight,
Yes.
which is interesting. Now, have you ever done anything on radio or television with your sister? Have the two of you ever worked that out? Because the two of you,
Well, there
seem to share a brain.
Yeah.
There was the one time she was doing a Macy's cooking show.
Oh,
I
you
know,
should have told
I know.
him that too.
There was a store called Macy's and just like a big department store. And then they wanted her to do like cooking show
Yeah,
and
cooking
invite
show.
people on.
Yeah, no.
And at the time I was doing a lot of like raw food, different raw food recipes. And so she's like, yeah, come on, because I went to visit her. So we did a show.
A raw
and-
cooking show.
Yeah, cooking. Yeah, raw cooking. I think I made like raw pasta marinara.
Well, who
raw-
made it, you or her?
I made
She
it
would
on
made
her
it
show.
on my
She
show,
was
and
the
that
host.
we would be yes.
Yeah.
And I'd ask her questions and why
So
would we
you
use
interviewed
this?
her doing a cooking segment.
That's right. Doing
Well,
a
we
cooking
actually
Did you
segment.
made
miss
the
the?
food,
They're
yeah.
cooking raw food.
Yeah.
Yes.
You missed that
I-
whole.
No,
that
I'm
whole
so
thing.
I'm so confused.
You're cooking raw
So you
food,
cook
but you're not
raw
really cooking the
food?
food.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Was it
you
raw when you
prepare it.
finished? or-
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
You
it's
pr-
still
you,
raw.
You just
Yeah.
prepare it. Yeah, I
The
basically.
food is fresh. It's
It's
not meat.
fresh.
There's no meat.
Organic.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's a vegetarian meal.
A
yes.
vegan meal. Yes.
And we did it
And
together.
a comedy show at the same time.
That's
sure.
right. Yeah. We made each other laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was good.
Is your other sister here also?
No. My little sister, no. She's in England.
We have two sisters in
Yeah.
England.
So how many are there of you? Four
Four
or
girls.
Four
Uh-huh.
girls.
more? Four
Yeah.
girls.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
How many bathrooms did you have growing up?
Oh my goodness, one. Funnily
One?
enough, my poor dad. Yeah, so I think he used outside. I'm
Yeah.
Four
joking.
girls and one bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about, detached houses, terraced
No,
houses
terraced house.
in London.
Yeah.
I don't
Three
know if you've ever
bedrooms.
seen some of the shows in London where the houses are stuck to each other.
close to
Yeah.
each other. Yeah,
Those are
that's
called row
Like
houses,
a
right?
townhouse.
Yeah, we didn't drink
similar
as,
to a townhouse,
We didn't
yeah.
drink as much water back then.
Oh, yeah?
So we didn't need to go to the bathroom.
Well.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah.
But that was normal, though.
Now,
with
who
everyone.
has the bigger sense of humor of the two?
Oh my gosh.
Oh
It's
my
obvious. You can definitely tell. It must be me, right? I mean, well, it's quite obvious, yes.
And who's the most serious of the two?
Our youngest.
Oh,
Or you
all
two?
of us?
No, not the
Oh,
other
us
two.
two.
Oh, definitely me.
Ah,
Yes,
you think
of course.
so?
Yes. This is
I love
the
doing that.
personality
I think
right
so.
there.
I think.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, and yes, yeah. I keep doing that like yeah.
You're going
like,
to be
which
doing it
one?
all night?
And then Afua, she's all over the place. She's kind of she's here and she's there and she's
Yes.
educated. But brilliant,
know.
right? You're going
But
for
she's
your doctorate.
brilliant.
And,
I am. I'm doing
and
my
everything you're
doctorate.
doing.
But I really believe that my love, even though I want to educate other people, my love is that I like to find out about other people. So I find it easier to interview other people and if I ask a question off of somebody else, I'll get the answer I want because I'm able to pull a question out of anyone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what I really love doing. I can go out into the streets and ask anybody questions, and that's what I was going to do, you know.
Absolutely
So,
true.
yeah,
I think we were in a airport somewhere on the other side of the world, and she's talking to some
Whoever it was,
person
yeah.
who had all these businesses and everything,
Yeah.
and in the end he came in handy because we
In
couldn't
the
get
end-
on a plane. She calls this guy and he has this beautiful
home,
house
and we
somewhere,
end up
and he's
staying
a
there.
totally legit
Yeah.
wonderful person
Right.
building a big store somewhere,
Oh, in
and all
Togo.
because she decided to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is true.
I wouldn't recommend this.
Yes,
By the way,
to-
don't
yeah.
speak to.
But you must get a sense
strangers.
about people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know who you can talk to and who
Absolutely.
not
Yes.
to talk to.
Yes. Yeah.
Sally kind of like you, but she talks to them in the physical world. You talk to them on the other side of the zone. Yes.
I'd be happy for you to interview me.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That would be interesting.
Everyone's here from England. And look, Wales calls me.
Spots here, yeah, because it's
We're
all.
sitting on the phone with friends from Wales. I bet it's Barry.
We're all
You gotta-
British. Oh my
You gotta
goodness.
talk into that
Oh, this
microphone.
is
you're
the
gonna
British invasion.
Forget
What
that.
number is that microphone?
2, I believe.
Oh, that's
She's on 2.
Hi.
It's interesting when,
Oh, there you
when
are.
you bring one Brit, they all come.
Where is Vale of Glamorgan? Yes, they call
Oh,
us
from
during the show.
Wales.
There are people calling Wales.
You're from?
It wasn't you who called me then.
Don't do what I'm doing. You
It's-
have to talk into the mic.
Lynette's
If
here
you
as
want
well.
It's she's from Canada, which is close to England.
Newfoundland.
If you want to.
There's probably people calling you because they're on the air.
I'm sure there are. They just have not left a message, but yes.
Okay, so we understand that the two of you share different ideas. You
Yes.
want to interview and be structured in knowing people. She has the same feeling, but she does it on the health side.
Yes.
What did your parents do for a living?
My mom was a nurse, and my dad, midwife, yes, and my dad was a businessman.
Yeah.
He was an educator at the beginning, but started his own business later on in life.
Several businesses.
So you got the nursing aspect on one side and the business aspect on the other. So
Yeah.
they're like chipmunks off
And I
the
have
tree.
to ask, how did you meet Kenny Love?
I believe it was through another person that did a show with him, and my brain is thinking Renee.
Renee
Because
Stern?
from Conscious Co-op, I met kind of different people, and I think from seeing one of them on the show, and then knew my sister was moving here, and I said, oh, there might be an opportunity, because I reached out to him to do something on TV or radio or something, and she was, moving within 2 weeks or something, and so connected all three of us actually, and she was like, absolutely, yes, totally want to do it, yes, we should do it. And so got connected and did the show when she got here, literally.
Yeah.
So you get off a
Literally
plane?
when she got
here.
here. Yeah, 2 days later.
Yeah.
So
After,
you get off a plane and you're going to do your own show tonight.
That's right.
yeah.
That's
Perfect.
because you got it all like that, right?
That's right.
So that
That's
you're going to make
yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
Now, do we have any idea of what we're going to be talking about tonight at 6?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We got a. She's gone then.
Yes, Eleanor, wonderful lady. She's
A wealth management,
yes, wealth management, into
Finance,
financial. She
yeah.
works in financial,
but she's also vegan,
area
and so she's all about health, wealth, and happiness.
as well. Yes.
So she works for a bank, but on the other side, she's vibrant woman on health, and she has her own yoga studio. So
she does.
she does actually. Yeah, she
Oh.
has.
And did you meet her at the airport?
No,
No, my
through her husband.
my husband actually knows her, and she's helped us with our portfolio and finances and everything. But he knows her from the bank, the
Yeah.
banking.
And she
world.
lives here too. So I had a guest, but she's in Loxahatchee.
Yeah, so I
And
reached
'cause
out
we're
to
not going
Eleanor,
home,
and
yeah.
she was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." So
Yeah.
I love bringing new people in. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I think they need a pot of coffee back there. We're going to talk to Sally and maybe Margaret. I don't know.
Maybe
Margaret
not,
looks-
because Margaret's shy.
Stay tuned. We're going to take a break. A little bit of vodka. And we'll be right back.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day. Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Hey travelers, everybody wants cheap airfares, but where can you find them? You call Smart Fares. Our prices are direct from the airlines and they're so low they're not published anywhere. Smart Fares specializes in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rentals, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, Smart Fares can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call us right now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these low rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the lowest rates available, so don't wait. Call Smart Fares right now for the best price guaranteed. Save up to 50% off business and first class. We've got great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 855-828-0198. That's 855-828-0198. 855-828-0198.
If your family is suffering from inflation and high costs caused by Lois Frankel's reckless policies, Republican Dan Franzese is clearly your best choice for Congress. Dan is a successful businessman who understands finance and economics. He's not a politician. Dan grew up blue collar and knows how tough inflation is on working families. Dan Franzese will go to Washington and fight the liberals who are killing us with inflation. Dan Franzese for Congress.
I'm Dan Franzese and I approve this message.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday signed a decree introducing financial benefits for people who left Ukrainian territory to come to Russia, including pensioners, pregnant women, and disabled people.
The decree, published on a government portal, establishes monthly pension payments of 10,000 rubles, which is $170, for people who have been forced to leave the territory of Ukraine since February 18th. Disabled people will also be eligible for the same monthly support, while pregnant women are entitled to a one-off benefit.
The nuclear power plant in the Ukrainian city faced shelling Saturday as officials worked on finalizing plans for UN inspectors to visit the besieged facility, officials said.
Russian and Ukrainian authorities blamed each other for the attacks, one of which struck the power plant. Energoatom, the Zaporizhzhia plant's operator, warned the facility is at risk of having a hydrogen leak.
El Paso city government chartered a bus that sent 35 Venezuelan migrants to New York City, where officials have complained about buses from Texas bringing migrants without warning.
The bus trip this week was meant to address the growing number of people coming from Venezuela and crossing the border from Mexico. However, the buses have strained social services in New York, which has promised to shelter virtually every unhoused person.
Flash floods triggered by heavy monsoon rains across much of Pakistan have killed nearly 1,000 people and injured and displaced thousands more since mid-June, officials said Saturday.
The monsoon season, which began earlier than normal this year, has lashed Pakistan with particularly heavy rains, and rescuers have struggled to evacuate thousands of marooned people from flood-hit areas. The crisis forced the government to declare a state of emergency.
This is the latest news headlines.
News the way you want it. Unbiased with no left or right slant. You're listening to the latest news headlines.
A Louisiana woman says she was denied an abortion for a fetus without a skull because it still had cardiac activity. By the time she gets an abortion, Davis said she has to carry her pregnancy for another 6 weeks after she made the decision to terminate the pregnancy. Davis said the fetus was diagnosed with acrania, a rare lethal fetal abnormality in which the fetus does not have a skull. She said her doctors told her the fetus would die shortly after birth. She will be traveling out of state next week to get abortion care after she was denied an abortion in Louisiana. March for Our Lives held a rally in front of the state capitol in Austin Saturday with parents who lost their children in the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, families and survivors of a 2018 shooting at Santa Fe High School, and a youth activist group to demand action on gun safety from Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Victims and families of those killed in shootings demanded Abbott call a special session to raise the minimum age to purchase an assault weapon in Texas from 18 to 21. Bitcoin has dropped below $20,000 over the weekend, continuing a drop that has taken it down nearly 60% from its year high. Bitcoin, the world's biggest and best-known cryptocurrency, was last down 1.5% at $19,946 on Saturday, down $298 from its previous close. It is down 58.7% from the year's high at $48,234, hit on March 28th. In King County, Washington, local officials recently confirmed that an infant in their community has tested positive for the monkeypox virus. The child has been hospitalized and receiving treatment for the virus in recent days after being exposed to monkeypox through an infected family member, officials said. The child did not become infected in a school, childcare, or other public setting. And that's the latest news headlines. I'm Alan Edwards.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Now entering into the game.
The bull. Ever been to a bullfight? Alpo, ever been to a bullfight in Spain?
You know what? In France. Oh, yes. Spain, Barcelona, yes.
Oh, you've been, right?
That's another part of my life. I've lived in France. Oui, je parle français en plus.
Tell me all the places you live. Spain?
Yes, that was Andorra, which is next door. So, yeah, I lived there.
Portugal? Portugal?
No, France. I've done Switzerland. I've done Germany, Berlin. Where else? I've been to Egypt.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, Egypt.
You lived in Egypt or you just visited Egypt?
It was a couple of days.
Did you visit the pyramids?
Yes, I did. In the city of the
Now,
with my uncle.
The two of them are.
So, oh yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
How,
Like, oh, you really know?
I mean, yeah.
have you met her?
Knew all my life.
Do you know who she is? How tall are you?
5'11". I know I didn't have my favorite
How
heels
in the
on, but I will.
world do you fit in those pyramids at 5'11"?
She never went in the pyramid.
I didn't go inside the pyramids. Yeah.
You don't even know she went.
I didn't. I was like, wait, when did she go to
So how do you know she didn't go in?
How do I know she went? And
I
was just kidding.
did.
She's truthful.
You can see my passport, actually.
Sure. Okay.
Did you visit the pyramids?
Huh?
Did you visit them?
We drove by. We drove. It was at nighttime, and
You drove by the pyramids.
Well,
I didn't even know I had a road.
No. From a distance. But from a distance. But
That's
I
still
saw it.
seeing.
It
From
is
a
seeing,
distance,
yes.
it's still
Did you go to the Nile?
No, I didn't. I saw the City of the Dead, though. That was kind
Of course you did.
That was
Do you know what
kinda
I
sad.
saw? That the Dead Sea
Yeah.
The City of the Dead
is dying.
Oh.
It's gone from 50 miles
It's
across.
shrinking.
It's shrinking. It's down to 30 miles.
Oh, my
Because-
daughter came back from Israel and she floated in the Dead Sea. I didn't ask her how wide it was.
It's
but
it's
she's just
shrinking
come back.
because all these businesses that are mining these great minerals because of all the benefits, they're taking away the nutrients from the sea, and then the farmers are taking the water away for their crops, and it's getting smaller and smaller.
So tell them to put more water in.
Well, they're thinking about where they're going to have to get the water from, because it comes from Israel and Jordan, and you kind of have to come to agreement between Israel and Jordan on getting the water to the Dead Sea. But can you imagine one of the greatest wonders of the world, and it truly is.
dry up.
It's going to dry up because people are monetizing the minerals from the ground.
You know that we take Alaskan oil on this pipeline.
That's
that's
like
been-
a criminal sin. How do you do that? How
But
do
we
you take
take
a wonder of the
Alaskan
world and
oil
do that?
and we send it to Texas, and which is now distributed all over the place. You know this, right?
No.
Yes. So all of these waters that we have on the East Coast, we should gather all these. We see the flooding. There should be like this giant pipe that sucks all that water in and take it out west.
Yeah, but think about
filter it.
You're talking about Israel and Jordan. You're talking about the beginning of creation, of where we all emerged from, right, biblically. And how can we be monetizing these minerals and not being recreating
Well, the
greatness?
problem is that you got a giant drought in Europe. I mean, fires in France are like ridiculous. And you got all this heat built up because there is no climate change. The world's just drying up.
Everything's drying up. It's really sad.
And isn't it coincidental that we're going to the moon to go live on Mars? Coincidentally now.
Again, I know.
You know, if there's too much heat, no clouds will form. They evaporate. So we're going to have to...
Climate change, right?
And my family are involved with salmon farming up there. So the Norwegians came down and they were teaching us how to do the salmon farming. And my cousin's girlfriend actually is an environmentalist, and she tests the water temperature for the salmon. It's gone up 15% this year alone. We have jellyfish on the beach that are from Australia. Climate change is real and it's drastic within 1 year. 15% is a lot for the
Wow.
Atlantic Ocean.
The jellyfish are coming from Australia?
Yeah, the poisonous blue ones. The first time we've seen them up there.
Wow, we have them here.
Yeah. Now we have polar bears too. Great.
Well, everybody's looking for the
Things
for the,
are changing.
the coolness, and you gotta stop the fossil fuels. You gotta turn everything off. Like with COVID. Remember, COVID came along, and people said, "Wow, look at the ocean," because there were no ships. The ocean's clean. I guess that lasted 2 minutes.
I don't know. I just don't understand how you can destroy these beautiful places in our world for money. I just don't get it.
Are you like? Is this like something new to you?
I just don't understand why people do bad things.
You got wars going on right now,
That
and people
too.
do bad things. You got
That too.
people that do bad things because people
I'm
do
going to
bad
ask
things.
Sally, actually. Sally, why do people do bad things?
Because unfortunately, that's what happens. There's all different types of people in this world. There's the good, the bad. There has to be a balance. I always say that, actually. It sounds strange, but without bad, we wouldn't see good. Without good, we wouldn't see bad. That's the path that I see as I
But do
travel.
we really need to have bad, though?
I think everything is
We-
necessary.
up
in
to a
parts.
point. I mean,
Yeah.
what I feel has happened here is we've shifted. We've gone very much
Yes.
overboard here with the bad side of it. So we've
Right.
got to correct that. And I think because of all the bad that's going on in the world today, there are a lot of people who absolutely want to do something about it, and they are.
Well, let me
so
ask,
we're going to
but
shift.
let me ask a question. If you pick bad, it's not the same thing as something bad happening. So if you're picking, if you got right or wrong, and you pick wrong, this is a judgment you're picking, correct?
Yes, because we actually have free will. We have choice in this world, yes. So, but what happens, you know, people talk about karma. What we do, we'll come back, if we believe this, and we'll come back and have done to us what we've done to them. I don't truly believe that. I believe that happens, but it's our choice. And many people today are coming in for good, which I think I had mentioned the other day, like the kids that are coming in, they're full of what we would call light and love. So they're coming in to straighten this. This, of course, is on the spiritual side, but they're coming in to straighten this out because we have tipped. A lot of people have come in, let's say they chose, quote, bad. Well, maybe too many people chose bad, so they're coming in to correct that. This is what I truly feel.
Sally?
Yes.
I feel the same way, but you know what we have to know is that they have visibility. As children, we didn't have the internet. We didn't see the war crimes in Ukraine. Our visibility, our awareness is in our face now, and how can we not do anything?
Well, this is
Right?
what's
So
happening.
that's the thing. That's why the light workers are drawn together, right? That's why-
Absolutely, that's what I was saying.
we have
Absolutely,
visibility, we can see it
because
now.
they're able to draw. You know, it's a collective consciousness, as I would call it,
Absolutely.
and I know that you know this. So what's happening, and the people also, which we would say from the other side, are working with us. So that collective consciousness is coming about for the light.
But
Let's
then
call it light and
let
dark.
me ask another question. Can we agree that there are people that are more powerful than other people on this planet?
Absolutely.
Politically, money-wise, intelligence, there are different levels of people. Do you think that the people with this intelligent level that are making bad decisions is more detrimental than people with good intentions?
That's where the balance is tipped. I truly believe this too. There are many people here that have come in to, let's quote, say bad. So they are the ones that are working on the bad side. We're coming in to correct that if we can. But there may not be as many, but they're very powerful that are able to do this. So there are people coming in that want to change that. And many of the children today are the ones that are coming in. I'd say for the last 30 years, the children that have been born are coming in to correct this if they can. If they can. I mean, there's no guarantees on anything. I don't know. But they're trying.
But I think as an educator, though, what I see, especially in classrooms, I agree with what you're saying, but I also think that every day we're being educated. Kids are being educated on TV, the movies, all of these things, music, really is changing their mindset, which isn't always for the good.
No, it's like a form of brainwashing.
That's right, and then you have that phone, and so these choices that they should be making are not being met. And another thing that I like about being an educator is that I'm really researching how children are being taught, and they're not being taught how to think, to critically think about choosing, you know, right or wrong. You have that teacher, she's up there teaching them, or he's teaching, and not really allowing the child to really think for themselves.
Well, I think it's a total disrespect now that they have 4 teachers. I remember when I was in school, also in England, we would stand up, say good morning,
That's
sit
right.
down,
That's
and
right.
it was a totally different aspect on this.
Right,
Yeah.
and you know, from when my kids come in, it's literally like class management straight away for them to know who's in charge. Not that I'm controlling or anything, but just for them to understand that there's someone in the classroom that knows a little bit more than they do, right? And then you ask them to write, they just like, write? What's that? You know, it's so just like not
There was
sure.
a woman in Israel when she was talking about the Dead Sea and how the water is totally receded, and she said to her students, don't you want to save this for your children to see it? Because at some point, it's not going to be here. And they said, no.
Right.
We can watch the film on the internet.
Oh, that's so sad.
And that is where we've
That's their
desensitized our
education.
kids,
Right.
that they don't realize what's
Right.
physical and what they can see on the internet. And that's no fault of the kids, because they don't know what they don't know. It's right, they're not born knowing this. So it's our educational system that is not properly
Absolutely.
teaching them right from wrong.
Listen,
In some instances.
It's the parents.
Amen.
Okay, my sister, my whole generation were teachers. And until, we used to look at teachers like firemen and policemen at that level of respect.
Yeah.
Because you leave your kid with this teacher for 3/4 of the day.
Absolutely.
And if you don't admire or respect it, and it's gone away, it's gone by the wayside.
Yep.
It's the parents, man. And, you know, and I love it when people say, well, you know, I do the best I can. That ain't good enough no more. And that we have too many built-in excuses. When I went to NYU, they told me that when I walked through the doors, everything that professor says, take it with a grain of salt, and prove it yourself, and be a creative. And that's one of the reasons we have this house. And we ask them to be creatives. I don't want you to take what I say. I want you to learn from what listening does, and then you create it.
Yes.
So until we respect teachers again,
That's right.
we are always going to pick wrong. Because it's not about that person knowing more or
Right.
being superior.
Yep.
You're giving your gift of your child to a person to take care of them.
But it has to be so hard on the teachers today, as you probably know, because
Absolutely.
they've been
It's
told
terrible.
even by their
Yeah.
parents, you know, if the teacher does this or tells you off, you report this. So they're also on guard all the time, which is really sad, because they shouldn't have to be. I believe that teachers on the whole are not going to ever hurt a student. But the students, this little thing, it'll be reported. So
Well, and what's happening now is that our kids that are being birthed have other stuff going on.
Oh,
And a
absolutely.
teacher has to be a psychiatrist, a sociologist,
Yeah.
a priest, a nun, and a rabbi
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
in every school, in every classroom. This is why I firmly believe, and you can write to me all you want, that I think the teachers should carry, because that gives this classroom, not the teacher, an opportunity to defend themselves. Good, bad, or indifferent. You got to train the teacher. Don't just hand the gun and say, go to town. Don't do that. But I think that what's happening here is that the shift starts at home when the kids are young.
Yep.
And they're not being treated correctly at home. And mom and dad, maybe it's time for us to go back to school. Maybe the problem where we can't educate our kids no more is because we're thinking and doing things wrong. That's where all this hate is coming from.
Freddie, if I may, I experienced this, okay? So there's government subsidized fundings for schools. Andrew was in school in West Boca. He was doing math. Now everyone had to adopt core curriculum. I don't know how to do core curriculum, so I taught him my way of doing math. He got marked wrong, but the answer was right, because he has to show it this way. Teachers had to learn this. It's not what we learned. And to get funding for the school to pass these standardized tests, which are government allocation of funds for everyone from New York on down here, you had to do it that way or it was wrong. It's standardized. If you don't do it this way and you get an answer a different way, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, because you have to show
So
the work.
it discourages
Oh, I've seen
independent
that.
But hold
thinking.
on, before we discourage,
Absolutely.
did you
Yeah.
go see the principal of the school?
It doesn't matter. It's from New York as a government legislator
Hold on.
and the way they allocate
Everything-
money.
everything-
It didn't matter. I had to hire
everything
someone to
will
teach him how
matter.
to do math because I'm just a doctor.
Okay. when I was working for Charlie Rangel, I had parents that came to me with the same problem, but it was about script. What's that called?
Cursive.
Cursive. You had to do cursive in the day. Nowadays they go, what is that? Okay, so if you didn't learn cursive, you did not graduate. This is, I'm going back a while. So I had parents like you come up to Charlie Rangel's office in the Heights, and they were Spanish, and they were arguing that they didn't want to have cursive done. There was a big outcry, but it was done, it was taught. Now they don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's not a positive thing. If you make enough noise, or you explain to them how the math should be done, things will change. The problem is that we're under the impression that if I stay quiet, it's going to go away.
Yep.
And it doesn't. You got to make noise. If it's wrong, you got to make noise. I remember when you and I, 7 years ago, we said we were going to take I-95 with every high school kid and walk down the highway down to Miami. Remember this? Because we want to change in the schools. We want security. This is going back 7 years when we were at iHeartRadio.
We were going to do it with JJ for No Place for Hate, or the ADL. You wanted to do it.
The ADL, which I never heard of the ADL until I met Dawn, and then we did things at the Panthers Stadium and everything else to stop the hate.
You know what is beautiful, though? When I first met Kenny Love, I said, oh, my goodness, you know, because it seems like it's so overpowering. But the work that he is doing is amazing to spread this love, even if it just touches one person at a time every so often. People can laugh and they can say, well, this is ridiculous, but he is really trying. I think it's beautiful that more people should be doing this.
And you're going to be on his show on Friday,
I
correct?
am. That's actually not the plug that I was going to, but yes, thank you for that. Yes, I will be on it on Friday.
And the ladies were just on there last Friday.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Which
But-
is really incredible. And you've got your show coming up today at 3
I
o'clock.
do, yes, I
Call Me
do.
Zena.
I do.
People have been writing in and calling.
Yes, they
You didn't have
have.
to get a
I've got quite a
secretary,
few
lady.
people. Right? You've been having a few, right? Yes. So
A
there's quite
few.
A
I get
lot.
10 a day.
I know. It's
And they have all
it's-
these questions.
I
and
know,
everything.
and I'm happy to answer them
Do you
because
see
without
them?
the questions, I've seen some. Yes, yes, they come through on my Facebook Messenger.
So what are people trying to find out? What are most of the
Well, we were
questions?
just discussing that. Basically, I can ask me personal questions, maybe, you know, of things that you want to know that might be happening in your love life or whatever. I can do that. But primarily, I like to ask, if you can ask me questions more of when my loved ones departed, what happens, where do we go, the different dimensional aspects of this that we go to. Because I had a really good teacher, and I know I talk about him every time, but he was Aldo, and it's a year ago tomorrow that he passed away.
Wow.
So I actually feel his presence so strong, and know if he was here and he can talk through me, I can talk through him.
So if the
actually.
ladies wanted to ask you about their dad.
Yes, I can. But more so that if you can ask me where he is or what is he doing. Or,
Okay.
I mean, I can't prove any of this,
Yeah.
but I feel
Yeah,
it
that would be
and hear
great.
it. And many of the situations that I've told people what's going to happen have come about. Margaret, as if you want to hold the mic for a second, I've given her so many messages over the years, correct? But they're not going to hear you without holding the
Just grab the microphone.
Yeah, just grab the mic.
Did he leave me money?
Nothing surprises me
Really?
because I've come across things
Hi.
just
Hold it up,
More.
Margaret.
everyday ventures, and we've
But
been
I'm-
together. Something has happened. What can we say?
Well,
You
maybe
were in
say
my
that when I
house
said-
and you said something about give me something that belonged to somebody else. So I gave him my I've got a lot of antiques in my house. And I gave her my great-grandfather's eyeglasses. It's in the case and everything. And I took them off the shelf and I gave it to her. And she looked at this and she told me who it was to, who it was from. So I just put them down. A little bit later, she said to me, where did you put them? I said, what? She said, the glasses. I said, why? She says, because he's telling me to tell you to put them back where they belong. I mean, we
some
laugh.
of this from my show, though, because
You know, we laugh a lot about the things, but nothing amazes me anymore with Sally. I mean, we've been more like sisters for so many years. And
But Margaret, just to let you know a little bit of the background about Margaret, she did not want to know in the beginning, did you? You were scared. But over the years, so much has happened. She's a bigger believer than I think I
Yeah,
am, even
because-
today, through listening to what I've been
Yeah.
able to tell
You know, it's
her.
interesting. On Friday, when the ladies were talking to Kenny, you and I came. We were in there doing the meetings and stuff, and I came out to look for Sally because I felt something. And it wasn't your dad. It wasn't that. It was her daughter. And I went over to her, and her and I at the same time said it. Remember this? We were
Yes,
standing
yes,
right there.
yes,
And it was really, really, really strange because, I mean, I've done Kenny's Love now for over a year, and I've seen him bring about what he brings about, and they were talking to the ladies about that and everything else. But that was the first time that she stood straight up and just stood there. And she felt it, and I felt it. And it was really different in the house. And I even thanked Kenny for filling the house because there was something magical going on. So maybe that's what you see today. A little bit of that is
This is
needed.
all beginning to change, and this is changing for the good, because years ago, if I'd come out with my story, which I have in my book, about I was flying to planets, different planets, I'm sure 15 years ago people she's crazy. But today, more people are asking me many more questions. The good thing is, it's coming more acceptable, and people want to understand things today that are not, quote, what we would call normal. It's out of the norm.
And you're taking phone calls,
I'm
and
taking, yes.
we're going to have a mic set up if people want to walk in and ask questions.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, does the question, is the delivery of the question the hard part, or anything goes?
Anything goes. I mean, if I can't for some reason answer it, I will let the person know. But most of the time, I have a collective around me that will, I don't know, and half the time I honestly don't, as you can tell, you know this too, what I have said, unless I'm reminded. But they come through. But the questions I feel that my collective likes are more about beyond here, what's going on, and they're able to answer the different levels of where we go and what we do. However, I have, and you know that too, many names of people, their first and last names of their departed. Shall I tell them the quick story about your cousin in England, or shall we save it as a little thing?
No, we can.
Okay. All right. Am I taking too much of your time up? Okay.
I know. I'm
okay.
like, what?
Okay.
Now she says that. Oh, I'm not going to tell you. You have to wait till
I have
3.
Margaret here, as I have Margaret here, because it was in her house. 2 stories, actually, we have. One was, I kept saying that there's somebody, it was actually her cousin, but I had no idea, in England, who has got something wrong with them. There's something wrong. They're going to trip, they're going to fall. I feel it's something in their brain, or vertigo. I said, you need to call, and you need to call this person up. It was her cousin. You hadn't spoken to him in about 4 or 5 years, correct?
Maybe longer,
She
right?
calls him, and he says, I can't really talk now. I'm suffering from vertigo. He was about to get on a bicycle. So I think my message was, tell him, do not get on this bicycle, right?
Well,
So-
he was attached to a bicycle all of his life.
Margaret,
you know.
you've got to put it.
He was attached to bicycles all of his life. That's something that he enjoyed. So
Which
even
I
with
didn't
the
know. I
condition,
didn't
I
know.
guess that wasn't going to stop him.
But we
That's
stopped a
amazing.
serious
Yeah.
accident, I think, yeah. And we'll tell the other story if anybody wants to tune in at 3 o'clock. About, okay? So there's a really good story at 3 o'clock, okay?
Wow.
Wow.
I can think of 2 good
You
ones.
have any stories? You have questions for Sally?
At 3 o'clock.
At 3
you're
o'clock.
saving it up?
I told you the story. I used to live in the Bronx in a house that was a rectory for nuns.
Little teaser.
And this nun came to the house.
She on the show too?
And she knocked on the door, and she came in, and I said, oh, she was Reverend whatever, Maria, I don't remember her name. And I gave her a tour. The house is small. It fit in this room. And she said, oh, I like what you did to it. And she leaves. So I went to church that Sunday, and I go and I see the pastor, the father. I said, I'm looking for Sister Maria. He says, Sister Maria? There's no Sister Maria here. So he takes me into the back room, and there are all these pictures. And he says, you mean this Sister Maria? And she's in a black and white. And I go, yeah, her. Is she here? She's been dead for 40, 50 years. So I said to him, how did you know that I was talking about her? He says, you're not the first person who has come here and told us this story.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you, I mean, you don't have to believe me. I was home alone because I didn't go to work that day, and she came knocking on the door. I asked the landlord. He says, yeah, she's around here a lot, is what he tells me.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I don't know who she was. I don't know where it came from, but it happened. My parents thought I was nuts. They wanted to send me to a shrink.
Do you think we can learn from the messages that they tell us on the other side?
Yes, I truly believe they come to us for that reason, to give us maybe warnings or to tell us things that are going to happen in the future that help us. They're here to protect us. People say, but there can be bad. Yeah, I'm sure there is, but I am a great believer, and this is just me, that I'm not going to hear that. I'm a positive person, and I protect myself. So if anybody is coming in, and you can get jokesters on the other side, just like you have here. They can even pretend there's somebody, and they're not. No different to here, actually. But if you protect yourself and you're open to it, I have only, as far as I can remember, I don't remember anything. Normally I would say, oh, no, don't say that. But I do feel confident that I can, that nothing bad has ever happened to me through this. I've only had good messages for people, too.
Prior lives, does it exist?
Absolutely. From what I've heard and what I see, yes, 100%.
Do prior life spirits hang around all of us?
Well, again, you know, they're there, but we've got to believe this, and it's our choice whether we want to hear them. Yes, they're here. They're there. because we have a whole group of people that haven't incarnated in this life that we have had in other lifetimes around us. So they're watching us, just like we're trying to contact them. They're trying to contact us. So it works both ways. But you have to be open, Freddie. For many years, even as a child, I was getting many, many messages. My parents believed me, which was good. They even called in a psychic. But I really didn't understand completely what was going on. I felt very different. I had friends, and I was in school, and I wanted to be popular, so I figured this isn't the best way to go. But I was still hearing things. So
Can guys be light or dark? Can you have negative guides as well as positive guides?
Absolutely. It's the same as here, too. There's good and bad here. They can come through if they think that they can work on you. Absolutely. If anybody is hearing this, my answer to this is try to protect yourself. Try to be as positive as you can, because it kind of like, remember the Dracula, when you put something up in front of him? No, don't go near there. It's the same thing. We give that energy out, which is really important.
And can somebody's energy affect somebody else in its presence?
Absolutely, 100%, especially if there is an empath. So yes, I feel it. I can walk into a room, and I used to feel this as a child. How do I know someone's been in this room? No one had explained anything to me, but you can feel it. You can feel good and bad. They leave imprints. You can feel the imprints of whoever was sitting on this chair. If I wanted to concentrate, I could probably feel the person. I mean,
So it
you can
depends
turn it
on
off.
how much they pay attention.
Yes, it is. And also, yes, it's how much you pay attention, but you're going to pay attention if you believe. If you don't, you're not going to pay attention.
And how do you protect yourself? You keep saying
Well,
that, you're saying,
yes,
how do you
but I'm going to say it's imagination, but it's more than imagination, which I know you know too. You just put a shield of light around you. Also, another thing is to normally, if you want to just light a candle, a white candle is good. But if you walk around protecting yourself, they can't which I heard from my guide here, and he told me and explained this to me, it will bounce actually back to them. So if they're giving you bad vibrational energy and you feel it, it'll hit this and go back. So they're going to hurt themselves. I mean, that's not your fault, but that's what they're doing to you.
Sally, I do like Archangel Michael, the blue light, the blue
Right.
bubble of light and protection with Archangel Michael, because I love my angels.
Yes.
I do that, and also what I do is I put a glass of water in the corner, and I intentionally say, any negativity will go into water.
Perfect.
And I can dump it out afterwards and get fresh water.
But make sure you do dump it, though, because it does stay around, yes.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
My intention is sit on that. That's how you know.
Yeah,
how I
that's
used to,
you can dump
because
it.
I used to do body work on a lot of people, and I absorbed a lot of the negative energies. And what I was told to do by my sister is take a glass of water, bless the person, direct all the energy into that glass of water, and then dump it out and start new with someone else. Because there's so many energies coming in and out,
Perfect.
you know?
And another thing, actually, if people buy crystals or anything, again, I learned from my guide here. Another way to do that, because crystals hold a lot of energy, so you can soak it, you can do, but the best thing actually is to put it in the earth. You just leave it there for 24, 48 hours. Say you have a little crystal. I have like a little triangle, which is a crystal, and I didn't want the vibrations from someone else. Just bury it for a couple of days, and it's cleared it.
'Cause I put it in salt. I didn't know you could
Well,
bury
salt
it.
too, but
Oh.
or you put foil around it too. If you put foil, yeah.
Let's take a
There
quick
you
break.
go. Thank you.
You want to take a break?
Take a quick break. More to come. Give us a call. Get ready for your questions on the 3 o'clock show. 888-994-4995, Studio A. Any questions for Sally, or even just to share a story? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422. For no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
You can pick up a bag from us, or two. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call, so please call right now.
Call 800-651-4808.
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got covered with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW, and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to ARWHome.com now.
Call 877-281-0289.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
That is the March of the Trumpet.
You're thinking of bullfighting. I keep saying aqua at a bullfight. Did you go to a bullfight when you were in Spain?
I did. It was horrific. I'm not for, you know,
horrible.
It is. Yeah. It really is. I mean,
It's the bloodiest
barbaric.
thing.
Even, what is it that they do? The rodeo. It was really, I went about a year or 2 years ago, I went to the rodeo and I didn't like that either. You know, the bullfight, you know, where they ride the bulls and go round and round and see if the person can stay on the bull or be chucked off.
Well, that's not too bad, but the bullfighting.
The bullfighting is
when the
worse.
bull
Yeah,
he gets at the guy, like the guy miscalculates, and the bull makes him a top and breaks a few legs. I'm the only one in the audience that was cheering.
I don't think they're allowed to do it anymore in Spain. I think they're just animal rights or something.
No,
for
now
sure.
they have the running of the bull.
Well, that's just stupid too.
Yeah.
So here I am
just so
in the middle of
archaic, aren't
Spain,
we? Ooh,
and they let
cavemen.
500 bulls come at me. What do you think is going to happen?
That's right, yeah.
Did Michelle send them?
Michelle was one of them. She was the head bull.
Your second ex, I know, sorry.
Yeah, I can't be vegan.
But I
set
mean,
up that
why
one.
do we do stupid things?
I
like
know,
that?
exactly. I don't know.
I don't know, but Sally, I think.
I thought they. They banned it?
PETA. I thought they banned. They
PETA?
got something together.
I think
so, too.
To
They
ban
might have.
Yeah.
the
I don't-
bullfights.
they might have.
I thought that they
But
did
it's
that.
such a tradition. It's a Spanish tradition that I don't know if they succeeded.
So is knighting. What is it when they run on a horse?
Oh,
and they-
that's it. Yeah.
So is the Colosseum. We can bring that back too if we're
Yeah.
going to go to tradition.
Yeah.
Go back
I
in
agree,
history. Would
yeah.
you, if you could go back in history,
I ain't going there.
where would you go?
Killed to the
Where would I
death.
go?
This
What-
will
you
give
mean
a
what
clue
would
to
I
your
do?
past life.
Yeah, if you could click your heels and go back to a time to meet somebody or
I
just
want
a
to
time
meet Christ.
Amen.
at any point in his life or
Amen.
in
Ask that
general.
Any,
question.
I would
Amen.
meet him at any point in his life.
Yes. Yes.
You know, I told Mama
I agree
Ali,
with that.
Muhammad Ali's wife, I told her I always wanted to touch the hand of greatness. And to me, she is the closest thing because I thought Muhammad was the greatest, absolutely the greatest boxer in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
So for me, touching her hand meant that I touched his. But Christ, there ain't
Yeah.
nothing bigger than that. Whether you believe or not what he did, didn't do, or whatever else. Never a man of peace have I ever
Yeah.
studied
Yeah.
until him.
Yeah.
So that's where I would go.
How about you, Sally?
Well, I have a previous life, which you know, where I was.
Would you
I
go
would
back
go
there?
back to that life. Yes, I would like
What
that.
did you
It was
do in
in
that
the
previous
late 1500s, 60. Well, I don't know if I'm about ready to share it, but
3
maybe,
o'clock.
maybe down the road at 3
Oh,
o'clock. I don't
I am going to be curious.
Yeah,
You know?
and I knew Aldo, my friend again. He knew a lot about that life that I was in, and wouldn't have believed it. But I was painting from that lifetime where I didn't know anything. So
Like
I
Leonardo
had,
da Vinci?
Yeah, it was from that time. Yes.
Wow.
But who I
You
was,
painted
here is
something
the
American.
mystery.
I'm beginning to see who you were. Amazing.
But
A
do
couple
you
of people
think-
have recognized me in this lifetime.
Do you think that if you were this great person in another lifetime, it's your story to tell? Or do you keep it because
I don't.
Who would ever be like, "Ah, you were
Yeah,
pleased
but
tell,
I
yes,
did
not
tell,
to brag.
you know, the guy
You do.
that's making
To
the
tell, not
movie,
to
I think,
brag.
and he wants to thank you because he's going to come on the show and talk about the movie. I told him who I was, and his answer was, it was quite a well-known person. He said, I don't think anybody would make that up, because I had to tell him in case he was going to put
Well,
it
we
in the
need
movie.
to chit-chat. Okay, now I'm curious.
I think you may know.
Yeah,
If
maybe
you
It's
I
know.
do.
interesting because then you think, are you bragging?
Well, that's the
Bragging is not acceptable. You know,
Is it
I was
bragging, though?
taught to tell a tale and let somebody finish that tale is the best teacher. Let them put their ending
Yeah.
to it.
But when you find out who that was, because that was a past life, so that life has ended.
Okay, but that's here. And now let me see what she tells me. I don't care about who she was. I care about how she explains.
Well, I
she
actually was
was.
seeing things from that lifetime, and I was drawing from that lifetime, but my friend never told me who I was because he didn't want, because then I might not believe it either. But I was continuing with I don't remember much, but I remembered certain things. And because he was in that lifetime with me, I actually would tell him I remembered certain things. And because this person was in history, I didn't look up because I had no idea who I was until then. But some of the things that had happened to
Well, stop making me curious. Just
Is there a way to
relax.
tap into a past life? If you have feelings or you think
And
maybe
here's
I
the
was
why.
here,
And
is there a way
here's-
for people to tap into who they were?
1-800
yes,
call me.
because it's all we choose to forget. That's our choice too, so that
Can you
we
help
can.
people open that
I can,
up to
yeah.
take that veil off?
I can, and I feel really interested to do that because we've had, in my belief, we've had many, many lifetimes, but the significant ones are the ones that we may want to remember in this life because after all, we're living here. We want a nice life here. But if we can bring certain things from a previous life into this life that are beneficial, not that are not beneficial, it helps because if it was us, we can remember even how perhaps we acted on that particular thing from another lifetime.
That's how you deliver it. We're going to
Exactly.
talk about
Yeah.
that.
Margaret,
Ladies,
did
who
you
do
ever-
you want to meet?
I'm with
does-
you. Jesus would be the ultimate because I want him to look at me and say, "You're amazing," and go.
You want him to say that?
Well, I know I am, but he
You
wouldn't
want-
even need to say it to me, just to be able to look at him.
Would
and
you have a funny moment with Jesus if you met him?
Probably. I wouldn't know what to say, probably. You know, that place I would be humbled. It's not like meeting Michael Jackson and going, oh my gosh. Now, I would have done that, you know, when I was 15. I'd be like, oh my gosh, what? But now it's a more of a, it would be humbling to meet someone like him if I was able to go back there with the knowledge I have. Because
Wouldn't it
you
be
know
kind
the
of
power
cool
he possesses.
on all the curriculum and all the things that you write to be able to do a virtual, because now everything's virtual. The virtual walk that they say Jesus took from where he was.
Right.
And those walks that you can't, if you can't get to Israel and you can't get to Egypt and you can't see these things,
Right.
to virtually write that content so people can see it
Actually
and feel
do
it,
in a basic way so that everyone can, that would be cool. Yeah.
like an AI type of
Wow.
thing.
You mean to sit where he sat?
Whatever it takes,
To
to
talk
walk,
the way-
to sit, to be part of it, to hear the
wasn't-
conversation.
That wouldn't be something.
You don't may not want to, but other people might.
I know, but that wouldn't be something that I'd rather just meet the man.
Christ, yeah.
Well, that's
Or
because
go there.
you're different.
Yeah. Go there.
That's, you know, where he sat and all
Israel,
that,
go
that's
to
been changed.
Jerusalem.
You know, it's like the Bible, it was changed a million times. All right, who would you want to be?
It's a hard one. I mean, now
Well,
that
I
you're
know,
all
but we got a
talking
few
about
minutes left.
Jesus Christ, you know.
Who would you like to meet?
I-
It doesn't
I
have
would-
to be like your sister.
No, I know. I was actually sitting here and quietly thinking, you know, that obviously would be the ultimate. But I was actually thinking of Mother Teresa. I don't know. She
That's a
she
good
came
choice.
to my mind because there's such humility and such just quiet faith and pure love. You know, when you meet someone that it is truly their life work is pure love.
Grab
you
that
know,
mic,
to
Soto.
help others. It's powerful. It's really powerful.
And she was a powerful being. What number is that? He's
Five.
on 5.
A5.
I want to switch it. We got 5 minutes. I want to switch the script.
Okay.
I know we'll come back to her, but I want to ask somebody younger. If you had a chance, yeah, you, the guy holding the mic. Yeah, who would you like?
He's on
to-
at 5.
He's on 5.
Sit on the white couch,
Sit on the
Mayor.
white couch, Mayo.
To meet or
Who
to
would-
be?
To meet.
I want to meet somebody that's completely unknown, somebody that's not in the books at all. I want to meet that person in the age, I don't know, maybe like the time where there was the Library of Alexandria or maybe Babylonia, Mesopotamia, something like that.
So would you like to meet the pharaoh that put?
No, I want to meet the worker because I want to understand the nuances of that time because we understand history as like, oh, Queen Tutankhamun or whatever, or like King Ramses, but we don't know Joe from the pyramids, you know? I want to see what their perspective was like back then.
That's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
He's taking the inward, so is it back. All right, then let's jump over here, because I'm going to ask you to go over there where he's at.
Margaret?
And let's go to Margaret. What lifetime, who would you like to meet or be?
I think Christ would be a possibility of what most people would like to have, to be in contact with. Like I said, I've never really given it that much thought.
Okay, well, Christ is a good choice. And then let's go to the editor, and you be.
Because I want to see what it was like from her perspective and like actually get how she felt during that time before she died and all that pressure that she was just under.
Interesting.
Good question. You can choose someone else, yes.
Thank you. Not that I'm choosing someone else, I just remembered. The other person I really love is Maya Angelou, because when she was 7, something happened to her and she stopped talking for 5 years.
Who's this?
Maya Angelou.
Okay.
And
Poet.
that's a really hard thing to do. I don't know if you've ever stopped talking, even for like, well, for me anyway, it's really hard to do. And so I love her work, and I did want to meet her. One time she arrived in Ghana, Africa, and I was there that year that she was, and I somehow wasn't able to get tickets, and the following year she died. I was devastated. I remember that because I always believed I was going to meet her. So I'd love to meet her and just say, how did you do it all? You know, so.
John F. Kennedy is another one that rings to heart. I would have loved to have met him and talked to him because he had a different perspective. He was the first Catholic that became president. And he had a lot of, from Jump Street, he had a lot of challenges within the country, outside the country, everything in between.
A lot of great people. All right, ready to wrap this up? All right,
Yes, ma'am.
Today, 3 o'clock, Sally Bernard, Call Me Zena. Any questions? We're good?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, 888-994-4995, Studio A, write in, call in. We're going to patch you through. Maybe she can help you see who you were in a past life. You never know. All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. We are here tonight. We've got Political Power Hour. We've got the lovely ladies at 6 o'clock doing their own show on Tell Us Your Biz. 6:30, you've got You and Your Doctor, and 7 o'clock, Mike Filardi. So a long day, but a productive day. Stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.